Throughout this video, we will be discussing intelligence. The very first form of the generalized intelligence test came from Alfred Binet in the early parts of the 20th century. Binet created this test to assess the intelligence of children with or without learning difficulties to help them place them in different tiers of education. But can this be argued to be a true measurement of intelligence? Albert Einstein, for example, had an IQ of over 160. This is an IQ high enough to be part of Mensa, but also suffered from dyslexia, making him struggle with written communication. Written communication is a skill perceived by some to be essential to be truly intelligent, but this is clearly not the case. Throughout this video, we will discuss the different types of intelligences created by Howard Gardner with his theory of multiple intelligences.
Bodily-kinesthetic intelligence is the ability to excel in either gross motor skills, fine motor skills, or both. Gross motor skills are expressed through athletics and more strenuous physical activities such as dancing and football. Fine motor skills are more mental, such as music and surgery. Studies suggest that a high level of bodily kinesthetic intelligence is required to perform well in these activities. Children are encouraged to practice this through the use of break time, physical
now we will
education,
talk about linguistic
and music.
intelligence. To possess linguistic intelligence is to understand both spoken and written language, as well as the ability to speak and write. Linguistic intelligence is a component of Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory. Often only the verbal aspects of linguistic intelligence are taken into consideration. Commonly, this is referred to as verbal intelligence, or sometimes verbal fluency. Typically, this verbal intelligence or fluency is a reflection of an individual's possession of overall linguistic intelligence. Typically, people who have linguistic intelligence are good story writers and are also excellent at memorizing information and reading. Linguistic intelligence has strong real-world applications in subject areas such as English teaching. Some people suggest that some simple tasks can help improve linguistic intelligence. Examples of these tasks are using one new word in everyday conversations, and listening or watching famous orators, for example Winston Churchill, as well as many other tasks. If these tasks do increase linguistic intelligence, this could potentially be very beneficial for people who may be struggling with grasping English.
Emotional intelligence. This is an individual's ability to perceive, control, and evaluate emotions, including their own and those of others. Some researchers believe that emotional intelligence is learned and can be strengthened, while others believe it to be an innate characteristic. There are 4 branches of emotional intelligence. Perceiving emotions. This includes being able to understand non-verbal signals, such as body language and facial expressions. Reasoning with emotions, knowing how to deal with them once they arise. Understanding emotions, not only being able to acknowledge a person's feelings, but understanding what may have caused them. And managing emotions, regulating them and being able to respond appropriately. There are ways to measure emotional intelligence, which include Reuven-Baron's EQI, a self-report designed to measure a person's abilities, including stress tolerance, awareness, problem-solving, and happiness. The Multi-Factor Emotional Intelligence Scale, an ability-based test where the individuals perform tasks designed to assess their ability to perceive, identify, and understand and utilize emotions. And finally, the Emotional Competence Inventory, which involves having people who know the individual offer ratings on a number of different emotional competencies.
Existential intelligence can be defined as the ability to be sensitive to, or have the capacity for, or conceptualizing or tackling deeper or larger questions about human existence. Examples of these include questioning the meaning of life, questioning why we are born, wondering if we die, what is consciousness, or how did we get here. Examples of people with high levels of existential intelligence are Richard Dawkins, with his multi-million selling book, The God Delusion. Dawkins takes an alternative approach at philosophy, contemplating and discussing that existence is not manifested by God, but by nature and science. Another example of a famous existential thinker is Daniel Dennett. In his 1981 book, The Mind's Eye, Dennett explores the concept of consciousness, the separation of mind and body, and the idea of self. People can improve their existential intelligence by taking time to question their own beliefs, other people's, and create their own theories of creation, life, and death, and also not be afraid to question others.